Ohio guys, today it's bright and early. I was up at 5:30 to get here on time. We're at Yashio Factory. We gotta move cars and get started, so let's get into it. So I got the S15 moved out here while we were shuffling around cars, and I just wanted to take a moment, look at these two together. It's the first time that they've ever been like that. Gosh, so excited. And like the S15 looks so aggressive in the front. It's already got a pretty baller angle kit on there, so I guess that's why the front wheels got so much poke. Damn, it looks sick. Very keen. All right lads, so I went for a run to the convenience store and got my breakfast of champions here. We got a 1000cc lemon kind of drink, which is just a lot of vitamin C. I got the 7-Eleven combo with Georgia coffee. These are really good. It's like an iced cafe au lait. Also, every foreigner who visits Japan knows about these. The pancakes from 7-Eleven are amazeballs. And I got a Pocari Sweat to get some fluids into me, because today is another scorcher of a day here. Japan summer is definitely not kind to you. So I'm gonna down all this, then we're gonna get to work. If you guys thought I was gonna leave you without doing an ASMR coffee time, you were wrong. Oh yeah, I'm so ready for this. Oh, these are so good. The only thing that I would drink other than Georgia, the premium. So we've got the S15 inside and we're going to jump straight onto it. The first thing to tackle this morning is bumper fitment and cutting everything out to suit the intercooler and whatnot. So in Australia we call this a Rio bar, but some people I think I've heard call it like a inner front bumper support and stuff. There's two ways that a lot of people do this. They just cut the entire center out, leaving only the two ends in there. But you can also see that this has already been pre-cut for an intercooler. So we're going to see if that's going to work with the Blitz one. But if it covers too much of the Blitz, I'm just going to completely cut the center out like what everyone else kind of does. I mean, it kind of sucks because obviously you get into a front end praying, it means you're going to damage your intercooler and stuff like that a lot more. But I mean, drift car is life, more airflow is better, right? So yeah, we're going to test mount all of this. Hopefully I don't have to cut out the center, but we'll go from there. Set you guys up on the time lapse and let's get this started. All right, so this is awesome. I didn't have to cut the center out of the Rio bar at all. I was able to just trim up the little cut on the inside there to suit the Blitz intercooler perfectly. So we're keeping that main support, which is awesome. The next thing to tackle before I can start fitting the bumper is this oil cooler. We're gonna try and save it. That way we don't have to put a brand new kit on there. The oil cooler is a bit large to try and like tuck in there. So we're trying to like move it forward a little bit. I'm gonna try and make up some custom brackets to try and like get it to sit in here where there's still a little gap between the intercooler piping and there's enough space for the bumper to fit around it. But we're not entirely sure if it's gonna work 100% yet. We still may just put a brand new HKS kit on there. So we'll find out soon enough. All right, so I got the oil cooler mounted. I made up these custom brackets here. Now we're not entirely sure if this part's gonna clear the bumper yet, but hopefully everything's all good. I also made this bracket here just pretty much just, you know, used a little bit of this steel that we had lying around and then just used a vise and a hammer to bash it into shape and bend everything the way I needed to. So that should be all good. It's really nice and secure there. I'm hoping that it's gonna fit because then we don't have to install another oil cooler and deal with leaking oil and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it still would be nice to put a new one on there, right? Anyway, so now we got the front fenders here. And the first thing we got to do now, if you had a standard like normal S15 and you weren't doing like crazy pokey wheels and drifting and stuff, you wouldn't have to do this, but we're going to be cutting the inside line of this all the way along the edge here with the fender so that we got more room for, I guess, you know, one finger wheel gap and lots of angle. So that's what we're going to be doing first before we fit these. And then we'll go from there. So I just finished cutting this piece out and boy, was that kind of scary. But I did a really nice job all through here, cleaned it up with the little whizzy sanding thingy, and get a load of this. You gotta see how epic this looks. Chotto. We'll just sit this on here for now. We're not gonna like, you know, go crazy and mount it in or anything, but just sitting that there. Look at that. Look how freaking wide that looks. Seriously, like, Oka-chan's kit is seriously like the best S15 kit I've ever seen. Honestly, the fenders are so nicely formed and shaped, it's ridiculous. And the only cutting I'm having to do is because, well, we're putting big 18s on the front and massive angles, so got to chop it up a little bit on the inside here to clear the wheel. But far out, man. It's beautiful, nice and wide. I love it. I love these over fenders. So we just took this off the door because it was interfering with where the fender was. Now, I am so glad that this isn't a thing anymore on body kits. The early 2000s in Japan definitely wasn't great, because who the frick makes a body kit where you need to put screws in your door to hold it on? Not cool, bro. I'm pretty pissed about that. Luckily, it's probably going to be an easy fix when this thing goes and gets painted, but not cool. So we went to test fit the bumper, and while it did clean, it was way too close with the bolt and the nut of this bracket here. So Oka-chan said just cut this end off entirely, and we're going to make a bracket that goes from the bottom here up to the top, and that way everything's going to clear the bumper and we can still use this oil cooler. So that's what we're going to do. As you can see, I've already chopped that with the cleanest cut of the century, I must say. I think it actually is probably the worst cut I've ever done in my life, but it looks okay. Also, on another note, I'm really not enjoying the autofocus on this G7X Mark III. I think the G7X Mark II was way quicker. Even though I've played around with all the settings, I still can't get it right. And I read on the Canon forum that the firmware that they put on the camera is actually still like not finalized. So they're gonna be releasing a firmware update that's gonna fix a lot of the issues with the autofocus. So I'm looking forward to updating the firmware on this when it comes out. But for now, I'll just have to keep up with it and maybe use the manual focus feature a bit more. So anyways, gonna get back to mounting, making another bracket for the oil cooler. Then we'll probably have fenders and everything on. Also, we're gonna do something about this one here because we can't get to one of the screws, so I'm probably gonna sneak in the little, I call this the zippy thing because I don't know what it's really called, but I'm gonna sneak this in there in between the panel and the screw and cut the screw out. Does anyone else just buy a full carton of pineapple juice and drink it for lunch? Because I do. I love the stuff. Anyways, we are now on to the next most important part about mounting this bumper, and that is with the vent here for the intercooler. So, to know how much we need to trim to suit our intercooler, oh, that is one sexy Zenki. See what I mean, guys? Zenkis look awesome. We need to measure Oka-chan's car. So that's what we're going to do. Got a tape measure. We're going to stick it in there, measure how deep his vent is, because it's designed to suit any type of intercooler. Well, this one doesn't have the intercooler there, so we're going to have to use his daily. I mean, we could use that one too, but I think his daily is probably the best one to check with. This one has the exact same kit on there. All right, let's have a look here. So if we go from there all the, well, I mean, probably better to just go from the edge here, about 7 centimeters. So I need to trim all of that. If I measure from here as well, we'll just double check it's the same on both sides. 7 from the bottom there. It's about 11 to the crease line. All right, cool, now we know. Now I'm gonna get started and trim stuff up. I might also check this one. It's about the same. This is a bit of an older version one though, so kind of different. Okay, so I've got the oil cooler all mounted in there and it's super sturdy now. It's like not going anywhere. The mount kind of comes down from here down to here and holds it there. And as I said, we cut that tab off to fit the front bumper. Now, front bumper fits up perfectly with the guards now. I do need to do some more cutting though, because angle kit, drifting, we need to trim along in here and then across the corner here. So I'm gonna go and cut that. And then we should be ready to kind of mount and bolt everything down. Also, my first S chassis problem Well, not really, it's every car problem that's of this age. This bolt rusted out and snapped off when we took the original fenders off. So we tried pulling it out with heat, with like, well, the Japanese version of PB Blaster, this stuff. And it was a no-go. It wasn't going to happen. The tip ended up breaking off with like the vice grips and everything. So we had to drill it and re-tap it. So that's what we did. So we're kind of ready to go now. And yeah, I guess I'll get to cutting the front bar. We'll pick it up from there. All right, I've got a big update for you guys. We've been smashing through everything. We got the front bar mounted, the fenders all mounted, and check out this fitment. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, we've kind of like jerry-rigged up all the vacuum lines with the EVC S, I think this is called, EVC, yep. And we're about to change the airflow meter, I think, to an R35 one. There's a lot of things we're about to do. We may have to put the old hood on for now as well, but things have come along a long way since the last time I picked up the camera. I've just been trying to smash it out as quickly as we can, but look, it's a whole car now, kind of. Looks awesome, right? Damn, girl, you're starting to look really fine. Far out, this thing is sexy. So we got a lot done today. We got the whole front end sorted out and mounted up. There's a lot more things coming, like we're getting the full over fender stuff on the front here, so we are going to be cutting and fitting some more stuff. Let me just show you the over fenders I'm talking about. These bad boys here. So these are going on my fenders that are currently there now, so it's going to pull it out even more. We're going to get this cool gap in there too. It's going to look super sick, and obviously these two that come down on the front of the fender there. We're doing the same in the rear as well. So yeah, we got a lot done there. We pulled off the body kit. Everywhere else, side skirts, rear over fenders, rear bumper, all of that stuff is gone. The hood, we're just going to get a whole new hood, one of Okachan's probably FRP ones, just like what you see here on his comp cars. We're going to do this. And same thing, we'll be getting a really nice wing. But yeah, man, I am so happy. I did all the vac lines. I still need to replace the wastegate lines because they're like really old. So I'm going to replace them. Even though there's blue silicon here, I'm going to replace it with absolutely brand new ones. Just to, you know, make sure we don't have any issues when we start tuning this thing. But listen to this thing with no vac leaks. It literally sounds amazing. Starts like right away, and the thing runs so well. I'm honestly so happy. I can't believe like I got this S15 with 30,000 kilometers on it, and it's killing me. Just, I want to drive this thing so bad already. It's driving me insane, but we've still got a lot to go. The thing's transformed so much, but yeah, we've got probably a fair few more weeks left of building and work to do on this thing, so yeah. So we're all locked up now, and before I do anything, I definitely need to get myself a bottle of water. So important to stay hydrated right now, it's so hot. I actually got like badly heat stroke today, and randomly my nose just started like gushing with blood, which is the first time I've ever experienced that, but apparently that's a sign of like getting heat exhaustion and stuff. So I downed a whole bunch of water and took like an hour's break. And yeah, good times. But I'm so happy because I started my car like 10 minutes ago and had the AC cranking. So that's gonna be awesome. Also, it seems like Canon's released an update for this camera, which should fix the issues that are happening right now with the autofocus, which is driving me insane. So yeah, also, yeah, anyways, I don't know what else I want to say, but I'm gonna go drive home, and we'll wrap things up once I get home, I guess.